For tutorial at Web Design Labs, and today I'm going to be showing you how to design and develop um, a bento grid layout in WordPress Elementor. So you've always seen designs like this bento grids on websites. They make your website look very good. So today I'm going to be doing this design that I created in Figma, and I'm going to develop it in Elementor. So prior to recording this tutorial, I've already taken the liberty of exporting most of these images. Like I always do in my tutorials, I exported them and I've already imported them into my workspace on Elementor. So this is what our final design is going to look like in WordPress Elementor. You can see that smooth, clean layout, textual hierarchy, and all of that. So let's go. I've already imported some of the assets that I'll be using for this tutorial, so that is easier for us to just jump into the tutorial and start creating. So let's add a new page. Adding a new page, let's name it Bento V1. Let's choose a template. Let's Elementor Canvas, and let's publish it. The reason why I've chosen Elementor Canvas is because I have an header that I've designed on Team Builder on this particular website. So I don't want that to conflict with the design that I'm currently doing. So let's edit this with Elementor. So like I always say, first thing to do is to check what your layout is like. So in here now we have a main section and we have three horizontal containers, right? In each of these containers, we now have, for the second container now we have two containers inside of the middle container, and here we also have two more containers. So that's what we're going to do. First, we'll create the Flexbox with the direction pointing vertically. Then we'll make this full width. Then we'll define for it 5% padding. 5% padding, then give it an height of 100. Right? So this means that this particular section is filling the whole page. We have our main section here, full width. Then we'll have our vertical height of 100. So what are we going to do? Like I mentioned, we'll have three horizontal sections in it. So we'll add one. First one, make it full width also. Then we duplicate it by using our Command or Control D. But you can see that they're in vertical. So let's just change it to horizontal. So now they are horizontal, right? So we'll go back to our design. Here we have a color, a background color. We'll copy the color, we'll change it on our main section. So here, change the colors of this. Always make sure that you name your containers so that you don't make mistakes while trying to edit them. So the first, I'll name this first, name this second, and name this third. All right. So on the very first container, what do we have in there? We have this background. This is the background. Let's copy that background of this. Copy it. Put it. Also, there's a border radius of about 30. Then there's a border. There's a stroke on the border. So border, let's change this to 0.5. 0.5. Then the border color is this. And let's give it a padding of 30. Let's give it a padding of 30. Now I've given it a padding of 30. So any content we drop in this now would be any content we drop in this now will have a padding of 30. So the container the container has some space before the elements. So now let's drop this. This is the title, so let's drop this title in it. Let's copy the colors for this. Let's drop it. Okay, so now we've taken this. Let's increase the font size to about 40. Yes, I think that's good. That's good enough. So that 40. Then let's drop in that background. This background that we're having here, let's drop it in. So we just come in here, and we already have a background color. So we're just going to have a background image. See, it's filling the wall. So we're going to do bottom right, contain, no repeat, and we're going to make the opacity to 1. Exactly. So it's giving us exactly what we looking at that now. We're going to adjust that a little bit. Let's say background. Let's say custom now. 100%. Let's make it about 80 or 90%. Yes, exactly. It's looking more like it. So we're still going to touch on responsiveness, but for now, let's just quickly do the layout. So we have the buttons. So we're going to drop another container in here. Dropping another container in here. And this container now, we're going to set the direction to horizontal and drop in 2 images. This one is large font. Let's change the first one to the Google button. This is the Google button. We duplicate it. Let's duplicate it. Yes. So we can part this by 30. Now to move this to the bottom, now we'll click on the main container again, and we're going to change the justify content to space between, so everything comes down. So we're done with the first container. Let's move on to the second container. So the second container, inside this container now we have 2 vertical containers in it. So let's just drop those. To make it much more easier, we can copy this and drop this in here so that we don't have to start from scratch. And this, for this container, we're going to have, let's drop the vertical height. Let's give it a height of 65 VH while we do whatever it's that one. So here we just have a picture on the background and this text. So let's copy this text. And let's put it here like this. Let's delete this, delete. Then let's change the image here to this image. The settings to cover, no repeat, center. Good. Really looking good. So let's remove this overlay that we'll put in here. Remove the overlay. Then we'll set the direction of this also to end, so that this text can, so let's copy the color for this text. Copying the color for this text, and the reason why we didn't set the colors from scratch is because we're just doing a section. We're not building a whole landing page and all of that. So because we're having to do so many tutorials in this particular WordPress environment, we don't want to define a certain style for it. So yeah, let's just continue. So here now, to make the text more visible, we'll click on this and look at this gradient that was added here. Let's add it also. So it's going to be overlay now, gradient. Let's put it like this, and put it like this also. So, but this one would have an opacity of 0. We can move this a little bit further down. Yes. So, Yeah, so increase the opacity a little bit to like 0.9. Yeah, that's good. So we're already defined for that. The last one, let's just drop another container. No, not here. In the second container, let's drop another container in here. This container now will have a vertical height of 20. Let's make it 20. Don't forget to set the padding to 30 and change the color. And the color here is yes, that's the color. So the color here is, that's the color. We'll change the border radius to 30. Yes. Then we had 82%. 82%. What's the font size here? Font size, let's just do 64 for now. This is 64. By the way, we used inter in the design, and we're using Helvetica here because we didn't define for it. So let's just change it to inter. So it looks exactly like the design that has been given to us. Inter. Yes, it's looking like it now. So let's change it to semi-bold. Let's change it to semi-bold. 64. Then we do another. Then we remove this. Change the colors to, what color is this? Change the color to this color. And same thing as this. Change the color. The color is not white. I always like to design to develop tools as per designer's request. All of the colors, everything that is inside of that, I want to always make sure that it's always the same thing. So let's give it some space, 10, and let's copy this and put it in here. And let's increase the size of the text to 24. Don't forget our font that we used in the design is inter. This is where I know that is inter according to the design. So now we already have that. Our design is looking good. Don't forget that there is a space between the main container and the items. Always make sure that your padding is on 0. So put the padding at 0. Then we move to this. So for this now, let's take this guy, copy it, let's paste him inside here, just to make our work much easier. Then we'll click on this and change this container height to 37. This container height to 37. 37. Then we'll put the content as start. Then we'll make this center in the middle. Then we'll change. So that's done. Then we remove the background. The background here is a gradient. So we're going to use the gradient to also style that particular background of that container. So let's just do that. So I've copied all of the colors. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Remember, there is a background overlay because we copied the container, so we're going to remove this. We don't have, so we're going to have an overlay of a picture. This picture right here. This picture right there now. Let's make the width to be about 70 and make this bottom center 70. Yeah, it's looking exactly like how we want it to look. Then we'll change this to this. My mistake. We're going to use the color we're meant to change on the text. Change the colors to this. Then we can duplicate this to what height should this be now? Let's say 47. 7 is too much. 45. No, 45 is too small. 46. 47. Okay, let's do 47. 47 is fine. 47 is fine. Let's remove this padding here on the third container. Let's do that 48. Yeah, 48 is perfect. Everything aligns now. Let's change this text to this. So this should be 28. Font size should be this. Yes. Then we'll change. There's a gradient in this also. So we'll copy this. Then we'll change the gradient here to white. This one is just pure white. Yeah. Then our overlay photo is what we change here also. Change it to this lady right here, and we increase it to 75. That's too much. So we are 65. 60 is fine. You can see how it looks on I'm using a 16-inch MacBook, so it's a bit big. So I'm going to increase some of these font sizes to, let's say this I increase to 48, so that it looks exactly like what is in the design, right? These two I will increase to 48. This also 48. This can be, this can remain as is. Or let's increase it a bit to like 72. Then these two. 13. Yes. Then these two. Say 35. Exactly. So it's looking more like the design that we're given. So now we're done with doing the layout. Let's just make it responsive. Let's make it responsive now. So here now we're going to have this. Let's change the font size. Let's make it much more responsive, and let's change this to. So as we go further down, let's reduce the height of the main container to about 85 view height. Then this text right here, let's make it 35. Yes, 35 is fine. 35 is fine. Then remove the padding on here to 0. This container here, let's leave it at 55. The font size should be 35 also. This remains at say 56. Then this one right here, 20. Let's make this 20. Yeah. Same thing for this. This is 35. The height should be what should I do? Let's say 33. From 37. Just trying to make it look very, very responsive. Then this should be about 40. 45. No. 42. Okay, 42 looks very good. So this text right here, will be 22. Yeah. Then we increase the lady. Did I change this to 35? Okay, it's changed. The lady in here should be about, say, percent. Let's make it about 70%. Yes, 70% is fine. So let's move on to get landscape, and let's make our main container 70. Then this title here should be 28. This container right here should be 45. And the text here should be, what size is here? 28. Here also will be 28. We're just trying to make it much responsive. 56. So 56. So this one should be 48 now. And this text right there should be like 18. Here now we'll change this to same 28. This was already 22. Let's make it 18. Well, let's make it 20. 20 is fine. And let's make it 18. Yes, 18 is fine. Then we reduce the size of this top container. We reduce it from 33 to 28, and this one also to, what's the height of this? Let's make it 38 also, or 35, 37. Okay, 37 is good. Let's increase the lady inside again. 80%. Yes. We just keep, increasing and decreasing some of the sizes so that everything looks way more balanced. So let's move here also. This is tablet portrait. Let's reduce the size of this from 28 to 24. 28, 24. So this is 24. This also here will be 24. So here will be 24. This will be 48 now, so it's 40. So 40. Then this one here will be like, so I say 16. 16, yes, 16 is fine. Or 15, say 15. This other one will be 16. So that one will be 16, just to look okay. The height for this from 45, let's make it 40. Then this guy right here, let's make it 25 from 28. Here now, let's make this 20. Let's make this 30 or 35. Okay, 35 is fine. So let's move to the other block. So this is mobile landscape. Here now we want to wrap. I would like to wrap this. So now I've wrapped it. Let's make this 400 pixels. Let's say 500 pixels. 500 pixels. 400 is fine. 400 pixels. Let's make this 30. Increase this to 30. And click on this container now and change the items to align to start. Then you reduce the width of this container to about 50%. Yes, so it looks more much more better. Let's change the background also, the background overlay. Bottom right, let's change it to about 40%. 20, okay, yes, 30% is fine. About 30% is fine. About 35, 30% is fine. Okay, we can actually increase it to 35%, then make this also, reduce the width of this to, let's say, 50% also. Yeah, makes much sense. This container also, let's change this to 30. I personally believe that this is still good, but let's increase the height a little bit to about 200, say 300 pixels. 300 pixels. Oh, sorry, we made a mistake. We defined the height for the second container instead of. So now let's click on the container inside of it, this first one here. Let's change the height to pixels, so let's say 300 pixels. It's fine. This is good as is. Here also, let's change this to pixels, 300 pixels. Background, let's work on the background overlay. Let's make this about 40%. Yeah, 40% is good. Here also, the height for this should be a little bit longer. Let's say 400, or let's say 500 pixels. I think 400 is okay. Then we reduce the image overlay. Let's make it about 50%. 30, 35 is fine. Then increase this to 24. This to 30 also. Yes. So now this is how it looks on mobile. Let's make this 100%. 100%. All of this. So we're going to let's make this container, let's make it not unwrappable. Don't wrap. Okay, so now we've left it at don't wrap. So it's not going to wrap it, no wrap. So click on this and work on the overlay such that we have about 16. Yes, much better. This also can remain like this. This can remain like this. Then work on this to make sure that the text is, the picture fills the container. So also this, let's make it 65%. Yes. So this is exactly what it looks like on mobile. Let's try to reduce some of these fonts a bit big. This also to 24. This to 24 also. Yes. So if you look at mobile, see how it looks now. This is how it looks on laptop. Now on small size laptop. This is how it looks on tablet, and this is how it looks on mobile. This is the finished work. This is the finished design. So we can now let's add a little bit of life to it. Let's add a bit of life to it. Let's add, so here from this design, I see that we're forgetting the button, right? So I'm not going to bore you with on how to create the button. I'm just going to add that from the previous work that we did before. So I'm just going to copy this now and just paste it in here. Oh, sorry. Paste it. So then we just space in between the container, and that's it. So we can add motion effects to it here. Let's say motion effects, fading up, slow, delay by 200 milliseconds. So we can do the same for all of that, and our final results would be this. If you enjoyed watching this tutorial, click like, share, subscribe to Web Design Labs on YouTube. See you on the next tutorial. Thank you.